My name is Marcus Holloway, but in another life they called me the Watchman. I'm 73 years old, and the last time I felt true fear was in a jungle, 50 years ago. That changed the moment my own family handed me a pen. On the day my son told me I'd be a grandfather, his wife Chloe smiled and said, "I've got a little present for you too, a better future." She placed a single sheet of paper in front of me. Just one signature. That was the first domino. What she didn't know is that old soldiers have a particular set of skills. We're patient, we observe, and we never, ever leave a man behind. I stayed quiet when I discovered her $400 a month secret. I stayed quiet when she bought the new car. I just watched, and I waited. And then I began my final, quiet mission. It took 6 months. 6 months and 500 silent recruits. Now, the company that paid her is at her door. The bonus she deposited is about to become a debt she can never repay. And she has no idea the watchman was always watching. But before I detail how I built the trap, tell me in the comments, where are you joining me from today? To this community of the brave and the resilient. Your courage is my armor. And if you're new here, don't just watch, enlist, hit subscribe. You're about to learn how to protect what's yours, and why you never, ever underestimate a man who has nothing left to lose. The coffee was still hot when Chloe pulled the folder from her designer bag. My son, Dominic, sat beside her on my old couch, the one Ruby and I bought in 1982. He was scrolling through his phone, barely present, the way young fathers-to-be sometimes are when the reality hasn't quite landed yet. "Dad," Chloe said, and her voice had that particular brightness people use when they're about to sell you something. "I've been thinking about your healthcare situation." I wasn't aware I had a healthcare situation. I'm 73, former Marine Corps, 2 tours, retired for a decade. I have the VA. I have my Medicare. I have my pills organized in a 7-day container Ruby bought me before the cancer took her. My healthcare situation was handled. But Chloe works in insurance. Healthcare consulting, she calls it. She wears expensive suits and drives a Lexus that seems too new for someone 5 years out of college. Dominic tells me she's good at what she does. Tells me she's building something. "You're on original Medicare, right?" she continued, sliding the folder across my kitchen table. "It's outdated, Dad. You're leaving benefits on the table. Dental, vision, even a gym membership. And it won't cost you a penny more." The folder was pristine, professional. The logo read Better Health Plus in cheerful blue letters. Inside, bullet points promised everything: prescription drug coverage, preventive care, a $900 annual allowance for eyeglasses. "I've already done the paperwork," Chloe said, producing a single form. "Just needs your signature." I looked at my son. He glanced up from his phone long enough to nod. "Mom would want you taken care of," he said quietly. That's the sentence that did it. Not Chloe's pitch, not the promises. My boy invoking his mother. I signed. Chloe hugged me. She smelled like expensive perfume and ambition. "You're going to love this plan, Dad. Trust me." They left 20 minutes later. Dominic kissed my forehead the way he used to when he was small. Chloe squeezed my hand. "Family takes care of family," she said. I believed her. The first letter arrived 11 days later. "Welcome to Better Health Plus." In the fine print, a line I almost missed: enrolled via licensed agent, Chloe Holloway, NPN 847392. I didn't think much of it. She worked in insurance. Of course her name would be on it. The second letter arrived 3 weeks later. My doctor, Dr. Patel, who'd been managing my blood pressure for 6 years, was no longer in network. To continue seeing him, I'd need to pay out of pocket or switch to an approved provider. I called Chloe. She was in a meeting. I called again that evening. She sounded distracted. "Oh, Dad, that happens sometimes during transitions. The networks are always updating. I'll look into it." She never did. I made an appointment with a new doctor. Younger man, fresh out of residency, who spent more time looking at his computer than at me. He prescribed a different blood pressure medication. It made me dizzy. I fell once, caught myself on the bathroom sink. The bruise on my hip took 3 weeks to fade. I didn't call Chloe about that. Instead, I started paying attention. I noticed she and Dominic took a trip to Cabo. I noticed the new furniture in their living room when I visited for Sunday dinner. I noticed Chloe's nails, always perfect, always expensive. I didn't say anything. Old habits from the core: observe first, act later. Then came the Thursday that changed everything. Every Thursday at 3 p.m., I sit in a circle with 9 other men at the VA. We don't talk about the war much anymore. We talk about sleep we can't get, dreams we can't shake, the way loud noises still make us flinch. Our counselor, Luna, says healing isn't linear. Some days, I believe her. That Thursday, Chase mentioned his insurance had changed. His daughter-in-law worked in healthcare. Switched him to something better, she'd said. More benefits. Brandon nodded. His niece did the same thing. Same company. Better Health Plus. Jaden stared at the floor. My cousin, he said quietly. Same plan. We sat there, 9 men who'd survived things most people can't imagine, and we realized we'd been outmaneuvered by our own families. Luna watched us carefully. Are you gentlemen okay? No one answered. After group, we stood in the parking lot. The sun was setting, turning the sky the color of old bruises. They're making money off us, Chase said. Not a question, a statement. I drove home in silence. I made myself dinner, nothing fancy, just eggs and toast. I sat at the table where Chloe had smiled and promised and lied, and I started planning my final operation. I couldn't sleep that night. Not unusual for men like me. We've got ghosts that don't respect bedtimes. But this was different. This wasn't Cambodia in '71. This was my kitchen table in 2024, and the enemy wore my daughter-in-law's smile. At 2 a.m., I did what any decent soldier does when he suspects an ambush. Reconnaissance. I Googled Medicare Advantage Agent Commission. The results were educational. Insurance agents earn between $400 and $600 per Medicare Advantage enrollment. Not once. Every year the client remains enrolled. It's called renewal commission. Passive income from other people's health care decisions. I did the math on a napkin. If Chloe enrolled me, that was roughly $400 monthly, $4,800 annually for one signature. I thought about her new car, her quarterly business trips, the way she'd casually mentioned hitting her enrollment goals at Thanksgiving dinner while Dominic beamed with pride. But I didn't have proof. Not yet. Proof arrived 2 Sundays later, though I didn't know it at the time. Dominic invited me for dinner. Chloe made lasagna, Ruby's recipe, which felt like theft in a way I couldn't articulate. After dinner, Chloe excused herself to take a work call. She left her laptop bag in the living room, right beside the armchair where I was pretending to watch football. I'm not a man who snoops. I was raised to respect privacy, to honor boundaries. But I'm also not a man who tolerates theft. The bag was open, just slightly. I could see the edge of a manila folder. I glanced toward the kitchen. Dominic was loading the dishwasher, earbuds in, singing off-key. Chloe's voice drifted from the backyard, animated and professional. I reached into the bag. The folder was labeled Q4 Enrollment Tracking. Inside, a spreadsheet. 2 pages, single-spaced, names, dates, plan types, commission amounts. My name was on line 14. Marcus Holloway. Enrolled 09-12. Plan, Better Health Plus Advantage. Monthly commission, $427. But I wasn't alone. There were 47 names on that list. I recognized 6 of them: Mrs. Chen from church, Paul Henderson, who ran the Veterans Motorcycle Club, Chloe's own grandmother, Hazel Morrison, age 81. At the bottom of the second page, handwritten in Chloe's neat script, referral bonus tier, $50K annual if 50-plus enrollments. Strategy: leverage family networks, community orgs. Target: seniors 65 plus. Trust-based approach. Trust-based approach. I photographed both pages with my phone. My hands didn't shake. In the field, they trained us to stay calm while documenting evidence of enemy positions. This wasn't different. Not really. I returned the folder exactly as I'd found it, closed the bag, settled back into the armchair. When Chloe came back inside, I was watching a commercial for reverse mortgages. "Everything okay, Dad?" she asked, smiling. "Perfect," I said. That night, I lay in bed, staring at my phone, at the photos, at the names, at my son's wife's handwriting. Leverage family networks. I thought about calling Dominic, confronting Chloe, going to the police. Instead, I thought about my Thursday group, about Chase and Brandon and Jaden, about the 500 names in the Regional Veterans Affairs database, men and women I'd met at benefits workshops, memorial services, PTSD conferences over the past decade, men and women who trusted me. And I realized something. Chloe had taught me exactly how this system worked. She'd shown me the playbook, the strategy, the leverage points. She'd armed me without knowing it. The next morning, I called Luna, our group counselor. She's been with the VA for 23 years, runs our regional outreach programs. She's seen bureaucratic cruelty in forms most civilians couldn't imagine. "Luna," I said carefully, "I need a favor, and I need you not to ask me why." There was a long pause. "How serious?" "I'm protecting people," I said. "That's all I can tell you." Another pause. Then, "What do you need?" "The database, every veteran in our Tri-County network, age 60 and up. Contact information." "Marcus." "Please." She called me back 4 hours later. "I'm emailing you a spreadsheet. 487 names. If anyone asks, you didn't get this from me." "No one will ask," I said. That afternoon, I called Chloe. "Hey, Dad." She sounded genuinely happy. "What's up?" "I've been thinking," I said slowly. "You've done so much for me with this insurance, and I know a lot of folks at the VA who might benefit. Would it help your business if I referred them?" The pause was brief, then pure enthusiasm. "Dad, that would be incredible. I can send you referral forms. You'd be helping so many people." "That's what I want," I said, "to help people." She emailed me the forms within the hour. Digital. Easy. Her agent ID embedded in every document. I opened the veterans database, 487 names, and I began making calls. The trap was set. But you have no idea how deep this goes. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because you'll watch me execute the most patient operation of my life. And trust me, Chloe never saw it coming. The first call I made was to a man named Jaden Cruz. We served together in different units, different years, but we both came home carrying the same weight. I met him 6 years ago at a VA benefits seminar. He was 68 then, surviving on disability and a part-time job at Home Depot. His wife left him in '09. His daughter calls twice a year. "Jaden," I said when he answered, "it's Marcus Holloway, from Thursday Group." Watchman. He still used the old nickname. "Everything okay?" "I need to talk to you about your Medicare." There was a pause, the kind of pause that happens when trust meets confusion. "I'm listening." I was honest with him, more honest than Chloe had ever been with me. "There's a Medicare Advantage plan called Better Health Plus. It has better drug coverage than standard Medicare, includes dental and vision. But, and this is important, it locks you into their network. Your doctors might not be covered. You need to read everything before you sign." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I'm enrolled in it. And because if you decide it's right for you, I can refer you. I won't lie to you about what it is, but I won't let you go in blind either." Another pause. Then, "Your daughter-in-law, the one who switched you. She gets paid if I sign up, doesn't she?" I didn't answer directly. "If you're interested, I'll send you the forms. Read them. Take your time. No pressure." And if I sign? Then you get better coverage than you have now. That part's true. And she gets paid. Yes. How much are you getting, Marcus? Nothing, I said. I'm not an agent. I'm just the referral source. He was quiet for a long time. Then, send me the forms. I called 14 people that first week. I used the same script every time. Honest, direct, no sales pitch. I told them what the plan covered. I told them about network restrictions. I told them to read the fine print. 11 enrolled. 3 told me to go to hell. I respected all of them. The second week, I called 31 people. Luna helped me organize the list by region, by age, by medical complexity. We targeted veterans who were paying out of pocket for medications, who had dental issues, who needed vision coverage. People who would genuinely benefit. 24 enrolled. By week 3, word was spreading through the veteran community. I started getting calls from people I'd never contacted. Marcus Holloway, my buddy said you know about a good Medicare plan. I gave them the same speech, same honesty, same warnings. They enrolled anyway. Chloe called me on week 4, breathless with excitement. Dad, I don't know what you're doing, but you're a miracle. My commissions this quarter are insane. I hit my referral bonus tier. That's wonderful, sweetheart, I said. I want to take you and Dominic to dinner. Celebrate. You've changed my life. We went to a steakhouse downtown. Expensive. The kind of place with cloth napkins and a wine list thicker than my service record. Chloe ordered champagne. To family, she said, raising her glass. To the people who believe in us. Dominic beamed. My son, so proud of his wife's success. He had no idea where the money was really coming from. Or maybe he did. I couldn't tell anymore which would hurt worse. I raised my glass. To family, I echoed. The champagne tasted like ashes. That night I sat in my kitchen and updated my spreadsheet. Chloe didn't know I had one, but old habits die hard. Intel tracking. Target verification, mission progress. Week 1, 11 enrollments. Week 2, 24 enrollments. Week 3, 47 enrollments. Week 4, 63 enrollments. Total, 145 enrollments. At $400 per enrollment per month, Chloe was now receiving approximately $58,000 monthly in commissions from my referrals alone, plus renewals from her previous clients. But I also tracked something else, something that mattered more. 127 veterans now had dental coverage they didn't have before. 89 had better prescription drug plans. 34 had gotten glasses they couldn't previously afford. I wasn't just building a trap. I was accidentally doing something good. Brandon pulled me aside after group that Thursday. What exactly are you doing, Marcus? What do you mean? I mean, half the guys in the VA system are talking about a Medicare plan you're recommending. And I saw Chloe's name on the enrollment form. I looked at him. Brandon served 3 tours. Lost his leg in Kandahar. He understands strategy better than most. I'm teaching her a lesson, I said quietly. What kind of lesson? The kind that has consequences. He studied me for a long moment. You know, what you're doing could backfire. Insurance companies don't like patterns. They audit. I'm counting on it, I said. His expression shifted. Understanding. Then something like concern. Make sure this is about justice, Watchman, not just about pain. I went home and made 23 more calls. Week 5, 94 new enrollments. Week 6, 112 new enrollments. Total, 351 enrollments. Chloe sent me a gift basket. Expensive cheeses, crackers, a bottle of scotch I couldn't pronounce. The card read, "To the best father-in-law in the world. You're literally changing our lives. Love, Chloe." I poured the scotch down the sink. I made more calls. By week 8, I'd hit 503 enrollments. 503 veterans enrolled in Better Health Plus, all referred under Chloe Holloway's agent identification number, all within a 6-week concentrated period. Then I stopped. I didn't call anyone else, didn't send any more forms. I just waited. In the Corps, they taught us that patience wins battles, that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. So I watched, I observed, and I waited for Better Health Plus to notice what I'd already known they would. When 503 enrollments come from a single agent in a single demographic within 6 weeks, it triggers something called a compliance audit. The trap wasn't just set anymore, it was armed. You think you know where this is going. You don't, because what happens next isn't what I expected either. Smash that like button if you're still with me, and subscribe. The next episode is where everything detonates. 3 months passed. Nothing happened. Chloe kept calling me weekly, kept thanking me. She and Dominic went to Hawaii for their anniversary. She posted photos on social media. Sunset dinners, beach resorts, cocktails with little umbrellas. Celebrating hitting our financial goals early, the caption read. 43 people liked it. I wasn't one of them. At group, the men asked me questions. Jaden's medications were $200 cheaper monthly. Chase finally got the dental work he'd been putting off for 3 years. Even Brandon admitted the plan was better than what he'd had before. "You did good, Watchman," he said. "Whatever else happens, you helped us." But I didn't feel good. I felt patient. And patience in the wrong hands becomes something darker. Luna noticed. "Marcus, you've been quiet lately," she said after one session. "More than usual." "Just tired." "Tired or waiting?" I didn't answer. She sat down across from me. "I gave you that list because I trust you. But I need to know, are the people you called actually better off?" "Yes," I said, and it was true. "Then why do you look like you're preparing for something terrible?" "Because I am." She didn't ask what. She just nodded. "When it happens, you come talk to me. Promise?" "Promise." The call came on a Tuesday. Not to me, to Chloe. I only knew because Dominic showed up at my house at 7 p.m., unannounced, his face the color of old concrete. "Dad, we need to talk." My heart should have been racing. It wasn't. I'd rehearsed this moment in my head for months. "Come in," I said. He didn't sit. Just stood in my kitchen, the same spot where Chloe had handed me that folder a year ago. Better Health Plus launched an audit. They're investigating Chloe for fraudulent enrollment practices. "What does that mean?" I asked, though I knew exactly what it meant. "It means 503 people enrolled under her agent number in 6 weeks, all from the same demographic, all from veteran networks." He looked at me. Really looked. "All referred by you." "I referred people to a plan that helped them," I said carefully. "They're saying she coerced enrollments, that she targeted vulnerable populations, that the enrollment pattern suggests fraud." "Did she coerce anyone?" "No. You made the calls. You did the referrals." "Exactly." He stared at me. Understanding starting to dawn. "What did you do?" "I helped 503 veterans get better health care coverage." "Dad, did you know?" I interrupted. "Did you know she was making $400 a month off my health care? Off her grandmother's?" The silence was devastating. He stopped, started again. "I knew she made commissions. I didn't think about it like that." "She targeted me," I said quietly. "She used Ruby's memory to get me to sign. She made me trust her, and then she profited from it. And she did it to 46 other people before me." "So, you set her up?" "Not a question, an accusation." "I gave 503 people a choice. I was honest with every single one, more honest than she ever was with me." "They're making her pay back the commissions, Dad. All of them. Over $200,000. The number hung in the air between us. I should have felt triumph, vindication. Instead, I felt tired. "Is she losing her license?" I asked. "Probably." "Is she going to jail?" "No. It's a civil compliance issue, not criminal fraud, but we might lose the house." I looked at my son, my boy, the man Ruby and I raised to be kind and honest and good. He was crying now, silently, the way men cry when they're trying not to. "I didn't know she was stealing from you," he whispered. "I swear, Dad. If I'd known—" "I believe you." "Do you?" He wiped his face. "Because right now it feels like you've destroyed my family to teach her a lesson." "She destroyed trust," I said. "I just documented the consequences." He looked at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. "Chloe wants to talk to you," he said finally. "She's in the car. She's terrified." "Of what?" "Of you." I walked outside. The evening air was cool, spring turning to summer. Chloe sat in the passenger seat of Dominic's truck, her face blotchy from crying. When she saw me, she got out slowly, like approaching something dangerous. "I'm sorry," she said. Her voice was small, broken. "I'm so sorry, Dad." I looked at her, this woman who'd smiled and lied and stolen, this woman who was carrying my grandchild. "I know," I said. "Are you going to press charges?" "There are no charges to press. The audit is the consequence. They're taking everything, my license, my income, my reputation. You took my trust," I said, "and my dignity. You took it from 503 veterans. I was going to pay you back. I swear. With money you made from the next person you manipulated." She had no answer. We stood there in my driveway, the streetlight buzzing overhead. "What happens now?" she finally asked. "Now," I said, "you learn what accountability actually costs." I turned and walked back inside. I didn't slam the door, I just closed it, quietly. The way you close a chapter you're finished reading. But this story isn't over. Not even close. Because 3 weeks after that conversation, I got a letter that changed everything. Hit subscribe if you want to know what it said. The first letter arrived on a Thursday. I recognized the handwriting immediately. Shaky, deliberate. The kind that comes from hands that have held too many weapons and not enough pens. The return address read, Hazel Morrison, Tampa, FL. Chloe's grandmother. I almost didn't open it. Almost threw it away. I'd done enough damage to that family, but something, curiosity, guilt, maybe just old habit, made me sit down at my kitchen table and unfold the single page inside. "Dear Marcus, I don't know if you remember me. We met at the VA benefits seminar in 2019. You helped me understand my disability paperwork when the counselors were too busy. My granddaughter Chloe enrolled me in a Medicare plan last year. Then you called me about another one. I almost didn't answer. Too many people trying to sell me things I don't need. But you were different. You told me the truth. You told me what I'd lose and what I'd gain. You didn't push. The plan you suggested covers my diabetes medication. The old one didn't. I'm saving $340 a month. That's groceries. That's keeping my lights on. I heard Chloe's in trouble. I heard it might be because of the enrollments. I don't understand all of it, but I wanted you to know. You helped me. Whatever else happened, whatever the consequences are, you helped me. I'm not sure if anyone's told you that, but you should know. Respectfully, Hazel Morrison Corporal, U.S. Army Nurse Corps, Vietnam. I read it 3 times. Then I put my head in my hands and cried for the first time since Ruby's funeral. The second letter came 2 days later, from Jaden. The third letter came from a man named Chase Donnelly, Navy veteran, who wrote, My daughter tells me I shouldn't thank you. She says you manipulated us. But I'm 70 years old and I've been manipulated by experts, by governments, by commanders who sent us into hell. You didn't manipulate me. You gave me information and choices. That's called respect. Over the next 3 weeks, I received 29 letters. Not all were grateful. Some were angry about network restrictions. Some felt betrayed when they learned Chloe was under investigation. Some accused me of using them as pawns. They were right. I had. But 23 of those 29 letters thanked me. For the coverage. For the honesty. For treating them like adults capable of making their own decisions. Luna called me after I missed 2 Thursday group sessions. Marcus, people are asking about you. Tell them I'm fine. Are you? I looked at the stack of letters on my table, at the photos of Ruby on the mantel, at the empty house that used to hold a family. No, I said. Come to group. We miss you. I went that Thursday, sat in my usual chair. The circle felt smaller somehow, or maybe I'd just gotten further away. Brandon spoke first. We heard about the audit, about Chloe. I nodded. Some of the guys are upset, feel like they got caught in a family war. They did, I said. But most of us, Jaden added quietly, are grateful. The plan you recommended, it's better than what we had. Yeah, the situation's messy. Yeah, your daughter-in-law's paying a price, but we're grown men. We read the forms. We made choices. Chase leaned forward. You could have lied to us. Could have pushed us into enrolling without explaining the downsides. You didn't. That counts for something. Does it? I asked. The room was silent. Luna spoke up from her corner. Marcus, you did something complicated. You helped people while hurting someone who hurt you. Those things can both be true. I used them, I said. I used 503 people to punish one person. You gave them a choice, Brandon corrected. There's a difference. Is there? He met my eyes. You know there is. You've made enough life and death choices to know that intention matters. Execution matters. You weren't dishonest. You were just strategic. That's what I keep telling myself. Then believe it. I wanted to. I really did. That night, Dominic called. First time in 3 weeks. Dad, Chloe started working at a pharmacy. $16 an hour. We're selling the house, moving into something smaller. I'm sorry, I said and meant it. She wants to pay you back. Not all at once, she can't. But she's making a plan. $400 a month until she's paid back what she made off you. Tell her to keep it. Put it toward the baby. Silence. Why? Dominic asked finally. Because I didn't do this for money. I did it because she needed to understand what trust costs when you break it. She understands now. Good. Do you hate her? I thought about that. Really thought. No, I said. I don't hate her. I just needed her to stop. Well, she stopped. Another silence, longer this time. Dad, I don't know if we're okay. You and me. I know. But I'd like to try. To get there. I closed my eyes, saw Ruby's face, heard her voice. You're stubborn, Marcus. But you're not cruel. Don't become cruel. I'd like that too, I said. Okay. He sounded younger suddenly, like the boy who used to call me after nightmares. Okay, I'll call you next week. He hung up. I sat in the dark for a long time. Then I pulled out Hazel Morrison's letter and read it one more time. Whatever else happened, you helped me. Maybe that was enough. Maybe that had to be enough. The ending isn't what anyone expected. Not me, not Chloe, not even you. But real life rarely gives us neat conclusions. The next episode is where I finally understand what I actually did. Hit that subscribe button and like this video if you've stayed with me this far, because it isn't about revenge, it's about something harder. 6 months after the audit, Chloe asked to meet me. Coffee shop, neutral ground. She was already there when I arrived, sitting in the back corner, hands wrapped around a mug like it was the only warm thing left in her world. She'd aged. Or maybe I was just seeing her clearly for the first time. Thanks for coming, she said. I sat down, didn't order anything. She slid an envelope across the table. First payment, $400. I'm paying you back, all of it. It'll take years, but I'm doing it. I looked at the envelope, but didn't touch it. Keep it, I said. Put it toward my grandson's college fund. Her eyes filled. Why? Because I didn't do this for money. Then why did you do it? I considered lying. Considered soft answers. But Chloe and I were past soft. Because you used me. You used my grief over Ruby. You used my trust. And you were going to keep doing it to other people. I know. Do you? Do you really understand what you did? She nodded slowly. I convinced myself I was helping people. Better coverage, better benefits. I told myself the commissions were just a side effect of doing good work. Were you helping people, or were you helping yourself to people? She flinched. Both. I was doing both, and I didn't want to look too closely at which one mattered more. I leaned back. 503 veterans enrolled in that plan. You know how many have written to me? No. 29. Most thanked me. Some are angry, but almost all of them are better off than they were before. Better medication coverage, dental care they couldn't afford, vision benefits. She looked confused. Then, what did you actually do to me? I held you accountable using the same system you used to exploit people. I showed you what happens when someone treats you the way you treated others. You destroyed my career. No, you destroyed your career by building it on referral bonuses from family members who trusted you. I just accelerated the consequences. The silence stretched between us. I'm sorry I used you, she whispered finally. I'm sorry I made you feel like I cared about you when really I just saw opportunity. I'm sorry I used 503 people to teach you that lesson. But you also helped them. I did. Doesn't make it less complicated. She wiped her eyes. Dominic says you don't hate me. I don't. What do you feel? I thought about that, about the letters, about Hazel Morrison thanking me for treating her with dignity, about Brandon's words. Intention matters. I feel tired, I said honestly, and I feel like we're both going to carry this for a long time. Can I ask you something? Go ahead. If you could go back, would you do it differently? I didn't answer right away. Couldn't. I don't know, I finally said. I stopped you. I helped people. I hurt my son. I hurt you. I'm not sure there was a version of this where everyone came out clean. She nodded slowly. That's the most honest thing anyone said to me in months. I stood to leave. She stood too. Marcus, Dad, can we... She stopped. Can we try? To be family again? I looked at this woman who'd lied to me, who'd learned something brutal, who was trying to rebuild from rubble. We can try, I said, but it starts with truth. Always. Okay. Okay. I left her there with her coffee and her envelope, drove home through afternoon traffic. The sun was setting, gold and amber the way Ruby loved. At home, I opened my laptop, typed an email to Luna. I'm ready to talk now, about all of it. See you Thursday. Then I pulled out the stack of letters from veterans, read through them again. The angry ones, the grateful ones, the complicated ones. They were all true, every single perspective. And somehow I had to live with that. I'm 73 years old. Chloe's working her way back. Dominic and I talk every Sunday now. Careful conversations, rebuilding slowly. My grandson was born 3 months ago. They named him Dominic Jr., but they call him Chase. I hold him sometimes and wonder what story he'll hear about his grandfather. The man who protected 503 veterans? Or the man who destroyed his grandmother's career? Maybe both. Maybe that's what real stories are. Complicated truths that don't fit into neat boxes labeled hero or villain. I still go to group on Thursdays. Still get letters occasionally from veterans on that plan. Some switch back to original Medicare. Some stay. All of them made their own choice. That's what matters, I think. Not revenge. Not even justice. Just the hard, messy work of making sure people have enough truth to choose for themselves. And if you've made it this far, if you've watched this whole story unfold, then you know, dignity isn't about never getting hurt. It's about deciding what you do when someone tries to take it from you. Hit that subscribe button if this story meant something to you. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the people who underestimate us, they forget that patience is a weapon. And truth, eventually, is a reckoning. I'll see you in the next one.